heard a buzz.
It was a text.
And they're hearing you on the stream, which is
Sorry.
cool. Hello everybody and welcome to FarmVille2 Country Escape live stream with Scott and Jennilee. Joining me tonight, as always, I hope, is Jennilee. Jennilee, are you here?
I'm here, Scott.
Yay! Now, a couple things. Usually I say to you at this point that I'm super glad that you've joined us, and I know that I say that because you're always so busy on your FarmVille jobs that you can barely make the live stream. But I actually heard this week that you got fired. And so you actually have plenty of time to talk to us on the live stream tonight. And from what I understand, your job this week was a FarmVille animal cloning DNA specialist. And I actually heard that you got fired for lying on your job application because you thought, and I quote, you said it would be neat to do this job. So I'm just wondering, how did they figure out that you lied?
Because I wasn't very good at the cloning.
So is that why you sent me those photos on the chat?
Yes.
So I'm gonna bring them up here. There's two here. There's looks like a three-headed cow and a three-headed sheep.
Yes.
So I'm going to bring them up here. So for those of you listening, Jennilee's having some technical issues right now, but she's trying to get it fixed up as quick as she can. And while she's doing that, I'm also going to mention to you guys that I am having a severe thunderstorm right now in my town. You're going to hear lightning, or I guess you're not going to hear lightning. You're going to hear thunder. You're going to see lightning. And if I bring up the weather radar map currently in my area, you can see I'm in this little town right in the middle where basically the red is. So if I hit the play button here, there's a little bunch of red heading toward my town, and basically it's on top of me right now. So if my power goes out and it fluctuates and it flashes, I will be back as soon as I can. If the power goes out for like 10 minutes, then maybe we'll come back in 10 minutes. But if you suddenly don't see Jennilee and me, you heard the the thunder, you can hear it. It's brutal. It was brutal the last couple of days at night. It's been really, really crazy. Anyways,
it sounds like a helicopter or like some kind of fast plane is going over your head.
It's so intense, and it freaks me out, and I jump. Did you hear that one? That was nuts. Okay, anyways, so that's what's happening. So hopefully Jennilee has her internet back, and she was talking about the three-headed cows and the three-headed sheep. So
yes.
So they found out that you weren't very good at it because of the results that had happened on the farm this week.
Yes, I was very enthusiastic, and I think it shows in my work. There
you go. Yes, it shows well. Anyways, for those of you who wanted to know, the pictures that you're looking at were sent to us from players. I'm not specifically sure which ones, 2 different people, and they thought that was kind of an awesome thing to have happen, and we thought it was awesome too as well. So without further ado, and before you announce who's here, actually, should we do the newsreel first, or are we going to do who's here first?
Which do you want to do first?
Let's do the newsreel. Here it comes. Playing the newsreel.
Okay, I believe
you. And joining me high above the sky today, hopefully not near where I am so she doesn't get electrocuted, is Jennilee. Jennilee, are you here?
I'm here, Scott.
Great. Let's have your crash report today.
Okay, I have a few stories, and I'm actually really tickled that we got so many new people on our live stream page because they have been posting their issues on our page as well. So the first one I have is from our page. It's from Joni. She said, the issues appear to be never ending. Since the latest update yesterday, half my co-op are now showing as friendly farmer, including myself. So people's names are disappearing.
Yikes.
Yes, and then another one, I think you posted on this one as well. Mark says, accidentally bought a $10 million bass.
Oh, I have a slide for that. We'll talk about that a little later, too.
Okay, I've seen those before, too, and luckily, I think they've always showed more than whatever I've had in my bank because I've never been able to buy one, thank goodness.
Right. Oh, I don't have a slide for it. I thought I did. Yeah, no, that's crazy. I'm not sure how that happens where all of a sudden there's like 4 items that are $10 million, and if you buy one and you lose $10 million. I know that the person that it happened to sent a ticket in, but I didn't hear if they got their money back. But I hope they did.
That would be so annoying.
For sure.
The next one's from Mona. She said her animals are invisible.
And I think I have a slide for that. I'll bring it up later too. Keep going.
Okay. And then I think I have two more. Donna says, have a question. How do I sync County Escape from my computer to my phone? And since you're tech savvy, I thought you might have an answer for that.
Okay.
Want to talk about it later?
Yeah, talk about it later, but don't let me forget.
Okay. And then my last one is from Jamie. She says, is anyone else having problems with the doors not opening? Referring to the co-op, having your level low enough but nobody's trying to come in. Like your door's open.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I heard a bunch of people saying that they're having issues and they're trying to make new co-ops and that they open their doors but nobody comes in. So we'll definitely talk about that one later too. So that's great.
Yes, and that was my last one.
All right, well then we'll see you back on the farm in a second.
Okay.
All right, we should be back with Jennilee. Jennilee, how did you land? Did you land safely?
I did. Thank you, Scott.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Okay, so let's see who's in. Oh, I want to say one more thing before we get into who's in the chat room, because last week I was speaking to somebody afterward the live stream, and we were talking about the live stream and what they thought of it and this sort of thing. And they actually, what I wanted to tell you guys was, my opinion, sometimes if you say a comment, if Jennilee reads a comment to me, I have what's called man brain, and sometimes I don't listen. And so Jennilee will say something, and I'm trying to figure out to bring up the next slide, or I'm trying to figure out something, and my brain works when I look at one thing at a time. And so what happens occasionally is that Jennilee will read a chat, and my brain will try to process it and do something else at the same time, and that doesn't work so good for me. And so what ends up happening is I may not hear what she said, and I might just go, and unfortunately, I may have at some point upset somebody that maybe their comment wasn't valuable, or I didn't think it was important that they said their comment. And I want to tell you guys straight up that you guys are the most important thing to this whole stream situation, and so all of your comments are so important to both me and Jennilee. And you know, Jennilee has no idea what I'm talking about right now because I didn't tell her what this conversation happened with, and it wasn't a bad thing, it was just a conversation. But I can see how I do that, because I definitely do on occasion get really flustered with all of the controls I have, and I'm trying to listen and do stuff at the same time, and I just kind of, my wife says I'm famous for it, like she'll say something to me and then I'll ask her about the topic like half an hour later, and she says, I already told you this, and I'm like, no you didn't. So anyways, I apologize, I love you, I'm sorry, continue.
Good job. Good job.
I grovel. That's why I'm still married. I know how to grovel. Anyways, continue. Who's here?
So, we have a lot of people here. I'm going to name everyone and then we can say one massive hello.
How many do we have? Is there more than 10? Because if there's more than 10, then sure. But otherwise, let's...
Currently, we have 26 watchers.
Okay, well, just start saying hellos and say a few. Just because I have to think about it.
So a few first. So Angela, Bubbly, Sarah, and Jean are here.
Welcome, Angela, Sarah, Bubbly, and Jean.
Good job. Next, we have Night Gaming and Frank, of course.
Night Gaming and Frank, of course, both of which have been on multiple times. Thank you guys for coming back once again.
Yes. We also have Pamela and Janine and Chantel.
Hello, Pamela, Janine, and Chantel. Thank you so much for coming.
We have Sarah, Treasure. I think I said Joni already, but I can't remember.
Sarah and Treasure's in our co-op, and Treasure needs a hand. Here's me clapping because she'll see. I'll show her why later. But continue on.
Okay, we also have Lorraine, and I think this person's new. It says Arnita.
Hey, Lorraine and Arnita. Lorraine is definitely not new. She's been on a lot, and we welcome both of you.
We also have Marilyn and Anne.
Marilyn and Anne, and I'm assuming it's our Just Anne?
Yes, of course.
No, it's Frank, of course, not yes, of course.
Sorry. And we also have Leslie and Ursula.
Hi, Leslie and Ursula, and I think they're making maybe a live appearance later. Just kidding.
They could.
Leslie and Ursula are in a few rooms away from you, from what I understand.
Yes, and they're listening because they said hello. So.
Awesome. Well, hi, guys. Thanks so much for joining us as well. So we have another action-packed episode tonight, guys. And I don't even know if we're going to be able to get through all the stuff that I promised to get through. I do have some more information to bring up from our from Lad at Zynga, so that'll be coming up. regarding the cloning stuff. And we also have some major big, well, not big news, but a surprise, not tonight, but coming soon. So we have some little bit of tidbits on that. And we have a whole bunch of other stuff that happened to our co-op this week, Jennilee, right?
Yes, it's been an exciting week.
Like, holy cow, it's like, why would they do that? So for those of you who don't know, who aren't in our co-op, we finally got our boat races.
Yes,
Yay!
yesterday.
Yesterday. So I got a slide, I'll bring it up really quick. This is what it looks like when you get the boat races. You get this little picture. And it says, let the boat races begin. Compete against the best of FarmVille and exciting boat races. Now, I really wish we would have had this at another week, because there's bingo, which just started as well, which is like an amazing thing. I'm not sure how many bingo cards you've made so far, Jennilee. I think maybe one, right?
One, yes.
One bingo, because you can see, and that's why I was saying great for treasure, because the last time I checked, oh no, it wasn't bingo, that was boat races. Sorry, I'm getting the events confused. That's because there's so many events happening. So originally when I saw boat races, I was like, awesome, that sounds wicked. And so I checked them out briefly, and I'm like, there's all this stuff where you have to send like Eddie like 7 times. Did you see that?
Yes.
And I'm like, I don't even like sending Eddie once. And I'm like, 7 times? Really? I'm like, holy cow. But luckily for me, I have chosen on my first boat race to, let me get out of this boat race. Here we go. What do I click on? I needed, you can see on my bottom right hand corner of my screen, I needed 8 corn husk dolls. And so this is my very first attempt at doing anything on boat races. So I just made my 8 corn husk dolls, and I'm going to click on my plus mark, go to race. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing here, because this is the first time I've done it. So I don't even know what happened. It looks like we're in 3rd place with 10,000 points. Sorry, thunder in the background. So yeah, so basically it gives you these tasks that you have to pick one and then you work on. So I think that's pretty sweet. Like these shrimps, three shrimp skewers. And once you pick one, is it gone? Like, is this our whole co-op or what?
I haven't really messed with the boat races yet because I'm kind of in the middle of nowhere and service is really spotty out here. So everything I click on, plus I see, a lot of people are actually saying that they're having lagging issues too, so maybe it's not just me, but anytime I click on anything, it's so slow. It takes like 10-20 seconds to open, so I just haven't wanted to mess with it yet. Interesting.
Well, I just chose strawberries, 42, and I got my strawberries cooking, so I'll let those go for the live stream. And then there's the bingo event, which I briefly started as well. Normally I start all the events live for you guys, but because we had so much to talk about and I wanted to know a little bit about this, I clicked on them both prematurely. So that's not going to happen live. And for this, I actually made a bunch of stuff again so that I could actually get a bingo. So apparently you get rewarded by making either 1 line, 2 line, or 3 lines, and 3 lines is the best thing to make. So I'm assuming that I just start selling this stuff, and then I leave 1 line. Uh-oh, I thought I had 3 lines worth of stuff. Oh, they changed on me. I didn't anymore. Oh, wait, I do. Oh, yes, I do. So I have the butter. Let's go this way. Oh, no, I screwed this up. I totally screwed this up because I needed to do... Oh, no. I don't know how I can get 3 lines at once. What do I do? What did I do wrong? This is why it's like... This is a challenging game, guys. If I sell my soup here, it'll make 1 line. But if I sell this one, it'll make 1 line. I screwed this up. I should have planned it so that I sold stuff to finish with 2 lines or to finish with 3 lines. Like this corner slot. I feel I should have had like an L. Like I should have clicked on this one and this one. Because now when I click this, it's going to make a line. Oh, well, I totally screwed this up for you guys. Anyways, there's my 1 line bingo. I get 1 reward instead of 3. I'm a bingo amateur, apparently. I receive flour, strawberry, and sugar. Anyways, it's cool and it's different. Artichoke at the stovetop. So we have 2 brand new events, and now I think the bingo event is just a temporary farmhand, right?
Yes.
So you can win, and I think if I go up here, I love all the medieval stuff that's going on too. All these little guys marching around, so sweet. Here we go. So there's four acts, and then the last act you can win Dogus Maximus farmhand for 30 days. Apparently. And anybody in the co-op, anybody on the live chat, have they done more than 1 act? Does it get really hard? Do they have to start making like tons of stuff for each one? Jennilee, you haven't done it yet, so you don't know, right? But hopefully someone in the chat room knows.
I have no idea, no.
Okay, so chat room, if you've played the bingo, let us know how much crazier it gets to complete stuff. Can you buy... You can spend keys to finish stuff too, but that would just be kind of silly. And what do these shield boosts do? Oh, they give you increased bingo points by using 3 shield boosts. So I guess I got a free one, which is cool.
Let me catch up on some chat so I don't lose some of it.
Sure.
Frank said for the boat races, you must either pick or craft the items, not buy them. I think that's good advice.
Okay, so you can't buy them from the global market. You have to actually... You actually have to make them or what? Sorry? Craft them or what?
Make them... Either pick them or craft them.
Oh, so yeah. So pick strawberries or craft windmills or wind chimes. Gotcha.
And then Lorraine was trying to tell you the top left should be the one that you sell last.
The top
on your,
left.
the bingo.
Oh man, I totally screwed that up, and I'm gonna have to go work on that later again. So yeah, but I think you can get 3 lines if you do like the one of the corners you save, and you do everything else, and then you end with that. And
that's what Night Gaming said. If you want the triple bingo, keep the corner ones for last. And Lorraine agreed to get a triple bingo.
Oh, see, and I thought I did that, but I totally screwed that up. I messed that up bad. That's what you call a live stream mistake that you can't take back. We can't rewind that situation. I tried to save it up for you guys. And you know what else I have here too? Go ahead. Actually, there's more chat. Let me get you. Let's keep reading chat.
Bubbly says chestnuts are too hard to obtain, in my opinion.
Where do they come from? Do we know? Chestnuts. Let's check the bingo board. There we go. Chestnuts are from the pier or the pond. I bet you I'll get them. Watch this. Oh, they're not ready yet. Oh, they're going to be ready, guys, in like 9 minutes. But we'll get them in there for sure. I think this is the first time I've harvested since this event started, so I'm going to get chestnuts for sure. You always get it on the first go-around.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Night Gaming says, I'm on Act 3.
Cool.
What were you asking about it?
I was asking if it got a lot harder with a ton of... You need a lot more. Like right now on my bingo board, I need only like 2 soups and 2 butters. So is it getting crazy like Eddie, where it's asking for like 15 butters and 25 flowers and 6 stuffed bass?
Oh, Lorraine says she's done with it.
Well, there you go. So I guess it's not so crazy hard. So I guess you can probably make the stuff. You can help your co-op can help. You can buy the stuff off of Global or clone it to get the stuff as well. Then I imagine, right?
Yeah, she says stage 3 and 4 are all event items in her experience.
Oh, excuse me. Interesting. So
and Angela says she finished all acts yesterday and it was pretty easy.
Good. Well, and is it done now? Like you just finish bingo, get your farmhand, and then on to the next event. So maybe that, I don't know. Did Angela get help from the co-op or did she grind it out? Angela, what did you do? Because I'm thinking of grinding this out. Because we have, how many days of this do we have? We have, I don't even know where it says. Where does it say?
I think it said 10 days on the bottom. What's it say? 9?
It says
I can't read your screen very well.
3 hours, but let me check.
Oh. It looked like a 9
I don't know.
Sorry.
Maybe it's for this particular bonus. How do you get back to the... Oh, here we go. This is what I wanted. 10 days remaining. So what I think I'm going to do for a week, guys, is just pound it out by myself, see how far I get. And then near the end, if I want... I'm not a fan... Like, I'm not a huge fan of temporary farmhands. Half the time I don't have my farmhands making stuff. In fact, I should probably get my cow food and put my guys on the cow.
Scott.
Hello.
Scott.
Hello.
We got a new watcher.
Okay.
Kind of. Kind of. It's Rachel. Says, hi guys, first time chatting, long time listener, LOL.
No way. Are Rachel?
Yes, I'm serious.
You're lying.
No, I'm not.
She's not supposed to come on without warning us.
Rachel?
Ursula just said, is that our Rachel?
I heard it twice, I think, from the echo.
Yes.
What the heck?
Awesome.
We say
Welcome, Rachel.
Welcome, Rachel. Thank you for coming. This is what happens when she's not working, I guess. She has free time now.
Oh, I love it.
So maybe we can get her on here with the voice next week.
I want an explanation.
Anyways, for those of you who don't know Rachel, Rachel's been in our co-op since the very beginning, and we all love Rachel very much. And yeah, so anyways, continuing with that. Jennilee, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Are you taking care of some house stuff?
No, other people are grabbing their computers so they can keep up with the live stream.
Oh, gotcha. You're like live streaming. So have you figured out how many seconds ahead in the future they are of you?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, you could order something. Like, maybe Ursula should bring you a coffee or something. And so we'll see how long it takes to get it.
Ooh, I might have to try that out.
We'll have to subtract the amount of time that it takes to actually make it, I think.
That'd be really cool.
All right.
But if I typed it versus said it, I don't know about that time lag.
Ah, I see. I'm not sure either, actually. Yeah, who knows? Hey, look, I'm halfway to level 70. Amazing. Okay, so is there any more chat you want to catch up on, or can I go over some more random stuff?
Scott.
Hi.
Leslie just came in and asked me if I really did want a coffee.
Okay, so what did that take, chat room? 20 seconds. All right, awesome. I wish that's funny. Anyways,
we know how well they're listening, though. That's good to know.
We do. They're paying attention. Thank you for paying attention, guys, and thank you guys for letting your sister and letting your daughter do this with me on Thursday nights, because I know that it's taking away from her family time. But I guess if they're listening to the live stream, I guess she's with them anyways. So that's all good. Okay, so chat room. How you doing, Jennilee? Don't forget to remind me about all that stuff I told you to remind me about earlier.
Oh, of course. We still have a lot of chat about the event that's going on, how long it's taking, about buying events, or I guess cloning them as well. Night Gaming said it gets a lot harder. You want to save a lot of quartz, tin, wool, pretty much everything, including bottles and jars.
Okay.
Let me see. It also says 12 days in total, so I guess the event's for 12 days?
The bingo event is 12 days. Yes, that's correct.
Angela said she basically did it all on her, or not Angela, Arnita said I did basically on my own.
Nice. She must have a large supply of stuff, I guess, or maybe it doesn't ask for that much stuff, and maybe if you play for several hours, you can get several boards finished, I guess. Cool.
Yes. Frank says, I'm not rushing through the event, but I am also playing 4 cards.
Nice. Because he has 4 barns, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so congratulations. Now, speaking of real bingo, I tried to play 4 cards once, and I think I might have bingoed but not realized it, and it was a horrible, horrible experience. Because I can't barely keep track of 1 card. Then 4
it's
cards.
hard.
It is very hard. Okay, hey, so that brings me to one question that was brought up tonight about the boat races, and that you can't get stuff from your... somebody said, I think it was Frank, that you have to make or pick the stuff, right? Now, do you think that's to combat cloning?
That's a good question.
Because if you can't clone it and you have to make it or build it, that to me would look like it's an event that is a non-cloning needed event. Which makes sense, because I mean, you're going up against other co-ops, so they want to maybe level the playing field, right?
True.
Like if I look at the leaderboard for our boat races, family cloners. Anybody here from family cloners? Chat room? Anybody kicking our butt in first place with 18,115 points? I mean, we're doing pretty good with 10,800, and I bet you like 8,900 of these is treasures. Let's check. It was in here somewhere. Oh, wait, it says co-op stats. Here it is. Okay, look at treasure. 11 things +1/+1, whatever that means. The next one is Celia with 11. Wow, Celia and Ju, awesome, and Liz. Wow, look at all these people. Let's check me and Jennilee. Oh, where are you, Jennilee?
I'm at 0. I haven't done anything
You're done 1.
yet.
You did 1.
Oh, I did?
Because you did that training episode.
Oh.
You did that training one. You get to sold. I think it asked for like wheat or something. What did it ask for? Anyways, you're at 1. You got 20 points for us, Jennilee. And Rachel, you're at 1. So Rachel, you're listening. So this is what happens when you listen to the live stream and you don't actually participate in the boat race. Just kidding. Anyways, awesome guys. You guys are rocking. Our Daffy Duck, I'm not sure who Daffy Duck is. Is that the new gentleman we have in our co-op? I think it is.
Oh, I thought somebody changed their name to Daffy Duck.
Yeah, it was the new person that you let in.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember. Garon? Garen. I don't know.
Okay.
You guys know I have bad accent and bad spelling. But anyways, great job, guys, with Treasure being our leader and Celia tying that. I'm not sure what these +1/+1 things mean, but I'm sure it's better than what we're doing, Jennilee, because we have nothing.
Frank says, try it, Scott. Buy something and see if it counts towards your board race task.
Oh, good idea. Somebody post strawberries. Anybody have strawberries? Let's see if it's in global first.
And Rachel said Daffy Duck is Fran. That's what I thought
what?
too.
Okay. Oh yeah, right. Because exactly. Because as soon as she came on, I saw Daffy Duck appear. So Fran, if you're here, welcome. And Denise, if you're joined Fran, welcome. Hey, nobody.
Sorry, Bubbly is asking, is boat races for a certain level?
Okay, so I don't know. We just got it in our co-op today. We hadn't had them for months. So we were all shocked and amazed when they showed up at the exact same time Bingo showed up. I know that from what Lad had said on his YouTube channel from Zynga, he said that all boat races, everybody will get boat races eventually. And at that time, which was about a month or 2 months ago, maybe a month ago, I think they were at about 20% rollout. And so I don't know what percentage they are. Perhaps we can get that answered on one of our next live streams. We can ask Lad how far along they are, or for an ETA on when everybody will be on. Great, it's a good question for sure. But yeah, I don't think you need a special level. Level 11, because that's when you can join a co-op, is level 11. Although when you join a level 11, you don't get the Marie board right away. Speaking of Marie board, I think last week I collected this, but I didn't get my botanist Betty. So let's try it this week.
Rachel, Janine, and Anne all said they put strawberries up for you.
Oh, great! This is why I love live streaming and playing at the same time. Okay, did I get my botanist Betty? Here she is. I did not get her last week. I was so disappointed. She reminds me of Liz, and whenever I see her, I think of Liz. All right, so I gotta go to get the strawberries. So I have 13 out of 42. We're gonna go to our co-op. Okay, there's 4, 14. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna run out of space. Look at all you guys. Wow, there's like 5 people posted strawberries. There's either like a
Heather
lot
said she put strawberries up for you as well, so there's a lot of berries for you.
And look, it doesn't have any effect on it. It still needs 13 out of 42. Well, in my book, in my brain, and this is just me talking, I would assume, or not assume, but it looks to me like it's an event or a function that your co-op can't help you on.
That's what Celia had said earlier too. I meant to read this. She said, I don't think you can get items from cloning to help with the boat race.
You can't even buy them from your co-op. Like, cloning is one thing, but buying them is another. Like, I didn't clone those strawberries. I just bought them normally. People lost them and I gained them.
But remember, Frank had said that earlier too. You have to pick or make them yourself. Pick or make. You can't buy them.
And that's what I was saying. And that's super, super interesting to me, because there's not a lot of times where cloning or your co-op can't help you. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, your co-op can help you pretty much every way in this game. And I didn't know this about boat races because we didn't have it, and really we hadn't had a lot of people talking about it in depth. But it seems to me like that's an event that your co-op can't help you on. Now, before we continue, and there's probably more chat to read, but I'm just going to say this anyways. When Lad from Zynga, his title is he's a FarmVille account manager. That's what Lad is. So I asked him today on chat, I said, Lad, what are you at Zynga? And he said, I am a FarmVille account manager. So that being said, Lad can't speak for Zynga. So for example, if I say to Lad, why is this cloning experiment going on? Lad can't say to me why it's going on because he's not authorized to tell me that. So as I mentioned last week, what happens is Lad sends the suggested response to their PR legal department or PR department, and then I get a reply like on chat or however with a kind of a title above it that says, here's what you can say I said, and here's what and anything else I said to you can't be. This is all you can say to your people. So I do have a statement from Lad regarding cloning that we'll bring up in a little bit, but my point that I'm trying to make is my opinions are my opinions, and if I tell you guys that I think that this event, this boat race event, is an event that's taking away from cloning, like you don't need to use your co-op, that's just me saying that. There's no other reason for me to say that. Whenever I quote Lad or whenever I talk about Zynga telling me something, I will bring up a a slide or a message bubble that I received, so there's no misunderstanding. Now, how I take the information is then going to be exactly the same way that you guys take the information. I'll read you the statement, and I interpret it how I want, and you interpret how you want, and we can talk about that, and we can have our agreements and our disagreements. But it's important to know that he doesn't have he doesn't have the ability to just say what is inside information to us for us to know. He has to run everything through PR so that it's publicly announced properly. And you want to read chat for a little bit, Jennilee? Or can I keep going?
You can keep going.
Okay, so next week on the live stream, we are going to announce something extremely exciting. Like, I am talking about the most exciting thing this live stream is ever going to happen. And I don't know if it's going to be any better after this again, hopefully maybe someday, but it is going to be it was just approved this afternoon through Zynga, and it's going to be something for our live stream that's going to happen in the future, and we're going to announce that next week. So you guys have to stay tuned for that, like, next week when we announce it. I'm even making a little trailer, a little movie for it. It's going to be, like, awesome. So there's going to be that. And then this week we're going to talk about the cloning in a little bit. We'll just get caught up on chat first.
Sounds good. I had to scroll.
My arms are waving again. Didn't mean to interrupt you, but my arms are waving, so my farm wasn't moving. So I gotta pick some more milk. Go ahead, read me what you're gonna read.
I had to scroll a little bit more back up to see what I missed. Bubbly said, I have a co-op issue where people will buy stuff but show up as if it were never bought, and people can buy it over and over.
Isn't that cloning? Oh wait, that's a reverse cloning. That's like
they're buying it and then it's still showing as available and they keep buying it.
Wow.
I don't think that's a co-op issue. I think that's like a bonus, right?
That's what happened when everybody was using brackets, right? At one time, you could buy them and they wouldn't go away. So maybe that's an interesting glitch. I don't know if you want to contact Zynga and put a ticket in when you're getting free stuff, but you might want to. I know that I think that anomalous free stuff showing up on your barn, random stuff showing up on your barn. I talked about this 2 weeks ago. If you claim a whole bunch of stuff that you didn't earn normally, the software can sometimes see that as potential hacking and possibly flag your farm. Not delete your farm, not trash your farm, but just flag your farm as a potential issuer. Anyways, continue. Yeah.
Night Gaming says the boat races is just like the game called Tropic Escape, but with cruises. I don't know if I've tried playing that one before.
Tropic Escape? I've never played that either. Yeah, it's cool that there's more stuff, and that's what I'm liking. I mean, hey, what did we lose to get boat races? What was there before? You remember?
Yes, but I can't remember. Pike,
right.
Pike.
So we got rid of Pike. And oops, and we got to now have boat races. That's cool. It's good thing they're changing it up. I don't agree with the way they rolled it out at all, but I'm glad that there's something new, because it really sucked for us, Jennilee, right? When we didn't have boat races.
Yes.
It was like, man, people can do stuff that we can't do. So I totally disagree with that, releasing it like that. If they should have had a test group that wasn't part of the main group that could have played with it, I guess, and I don't know. What do you think, chat room? Do you think the way that Zynga is releasing boat races is a good thing or a bad thing? That's another question. And when you answer a question, make sure that you type it out like, I think them releasing it slowly is silly, or not it slowly. I think releasing boat races slowly is not the way to go, because that way we know what you're answering. Because we keep asking stuff, and Jennilee's got to scroll way back to read it, right, Jennilee?
Yes. Joni, Rachel, Anne, and Lorraine are all saying that you're teasing them, cliffhanger, suspenseful.
You guys are you're going to want to be here next week. And I don't even know if I'm going to be able to keep it silent until next week. Like, Jennilee, we might have to have some kind of emergency planned live stream or something with Anne and figure out what we're going to do. Because I didn't have this information, and then 2 hours before the live stream, I had the information. We've been working on it for the last 2-3 weeks, and everything was approved, and it's just going to be craziness. So anyways, continue. My arms are waving again. Sorry.
Joni was saying, yes, it's Pike's Landing, and then Janine said, I was glad to get rid of Pike's Landing. And Celia said, I like the boat races better than Pike's.
So far, they're sweet. They're like something interesting, something new, something that you can log in and like I had to make those corn husk doll things, and it took literally like 5 hours. So I put them on the cooker, and then I did that like this morning, and then I came back now and they're ready. So yeah, you can log in multiple times a day. You know my favorite thing? I have my dogs on my screen here. Hopefully you guys can see them. You can see my dogs, right, Jennilee? They're fishing. They're the most epically thing to watch. Like the cat misses half the time. They all miss half the time. But the cat that I just won, there she caught one and she stuffed it in the bucket. Like I, for some reason, can sit here and stare at my dogs catching fish for like a long time. They're so funny. They're so cute. It's funny.
I love that it entertains you.
It does entertain me. Little things entertain me, though. It doesn't take me. Look at that cat just missed. That was funny. Now, if they fell in once in a while, wouldn't that be funny if they fell in once in a while? You know?
It would be.
And you know what would be really funny? And this is something that I would do if I was a game developer. I would stick stuff in, like random stuff, so that players wouldn't believe what happened. Like, so for example, you have Kelvin who's in the mine, right? Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden he comes out in his underwear and runs across your screen and then disappears. And like, while you watch it. Like, wouldn't that be hilarious? And nobody would believe that happened. But the game developer could write it in, right? And so that would be a funny ticket to send in. But if it was true, it would even be better. Like, stuff like that. Or, you know, like your chicken, you feed your chickens and they just explode instead of normally going to the... Like, here, I'll pick my chickens and I'll feed them my wheat. And I'll zoom in and I'll do the other one. So, you know, you pick your chickens, they're all happy. You go to feed them and they all explode into a million feathers. Wouldn't that be funny?
It would be funny. And
then they went to normal, so that you didn't have a chance to screenshot it or nothing. Like, you just would happen. Like, strange stuff would happen like that. They need to do that on, like, April Fools, or they need a special, like, Friday the 13th episode where stuff happens. Not episode, but day.
I like it. You can write that in. Tell Lad that's what you want.
Well, suggestion. Send it as a suggestion. I think that you could do so much stupid, crazy stuff. It's kind of like those dolls. You know how you can buy your kids dolls that talk? You pull the string and they say stuff, like Woody from Toy Story. Mm-hmm. So you program it in so that once every like millionth time it says something really bad, and then so like you might hear it the one time and be like, "What did that just say?" Anyways, and then you
won't get to hear it again because you'll have to wait.
It'll never do it again, right? It's like a one time, it just freaks out, gets all possessed, and yeah. There's a video of a kid that gets possessed and stands on a cradle crib. Did you see that one on YouTube?
No.
I don't think it's real, but they say it's real, but I don't believe it. Anyways, YouTube, baby on crib, possessed. You'll see what I mean. He stands up on the edge and just starts screaming. It's quite interesting. It's kind of believable, but not really. Anyways, if you don't want to watch possessed babies, then I would recommend not watching it.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I got some chat to catch up on.
Yeah, we got way off topic. Go ahead.
So Frank said, so folks, be sure to tune in next week to the same bat channel and the same bat time.
That's right.
LOL.
Did you say bad or bat?
Bat.
B-A-T?
B-A-T.
Interesting. What does that mean? I'm confused.
I don't know, but it sounded funny.
Okay. At least it's not bad. Bad channel, bad time. I'm like, no! All right.
And then Janine says, you would have something exciting next week. I'm out of town and without internet.
Oh, dear.
Sorry, Janine.
You know how epic this is going to be, guys? Let me just tell you what I'm doing. Not only is it going to be on the live stream, but when I live stream, it's going to be set to also put a video on YouTube at the exact same time. Because this information is just not for live streamers, it's for everybody who plays FarmVille. Some news for everybody. So it's going on YouTube the same time. So you guys are going to watch it live, and then it'll be on YouTube shortly after that. So it's going to be like it's like the most epic thing I've ever had happen ever. We've ever had happen ever.
Yes.
Yes.
It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be amazing.
Night Gaming said they should add raspberries, blackberries that can be crops, watermelons, bananas.
Yeah, that's true. All kinds of cool.
I think that'd be cool.
New stuff. I'm wondering why we haven't got well, maybe I'm not wondering why. We can talk about that another time. We got lots more to talk about tonight.
Arnita mentions that the cat gives you extra quartz.
Yes, and I always send these two guys into my mine. I said these two hands, which I've won through different events, and they give me the 2 tin and the 3 quartz as well. So I need to have some more of these things with granola bars. But so normally you click on your thing here, and I choose this one. So I'm getting 1 copper and 2 tin. Sorry, 1 copper, 2 quartz. And when you put this guy in, it goes to 3 quartz. And when you put this guy in, it goes to 2 tin. So that's why I send those two there all the time. But I know that the cat also gives you the extra quartz. But unfortunately, you don't get 4 quartz when you stuff the cat in with these guys. Just the cat does not get along with the dogs.
Frank said that was a homage to the old Batman TV show. They always finished with a cliffhanger and said, stay tuned next week, same bat time, same bat channel.
Oh, I get it. See, Frank, I didn't watch that when I was younger, unfortunately, so you have to explain it. So I'm sure it would have been much funnier if I would have known what the heck you were talking about.
Oh, and before that, Anne had said, no, Batman, so she totally got what Frank was saying.
And it's funny because Anne works with us on our live stream to write down questions. And guys, I forgot to mention, chatters in the chat room, if you have questions that you want me to ask Lad about, certainly put them in chat. And hopefully you can still write or jot them down for us on our spreadsheet, and we can compile them and send them in. Keep in mind again that the answers that we get or the questions we ask have to be available to kind of the general public as opposed to inside information or strategy that they might have. So that limits us in asking a lot of questions, but it makes sense kind of why they're doing that. And you'll kind of see when I bring up the cloning information what I'm talking about after. And I'm sorry that I didn't tell you that Vlad was messaging me right before the live stream and giving me authorizations and stuff. But we do have authorizations now, and we also have some cloning information which we got back. Anyways, got more stuff to read?
Yes, real quick, Night Gaming said, I'm heading to bed, so I went ahead and typed already good night, and also said I'm traveling to Cape Cod tomorrow, so I said safe travels.
Safe travels, absolutely. And you can catch up on the live stream will be on YouTube tonight, so you can always rewind it and listen to it over and over again, just like I do when I'm trying to fall asleep.
Yeah. And I don't know what I missed earlier, but Rachel wrote, I like that idea, Scott. We're going streaking, LOL.
There you go. You see? We're going this is why Rachel should be on the live stream more, or shouldn't be on the live stream at all. One of those two is true.
More often.
More often. Yes, more often. We want Rachel. Sorry guys. Sometimes we have co-op stuff that is only known to the co-op, so we apologize for all of our inside jokes that you guys have no idea what we're doing. So anyways,
Joni and Rachel both said that they like Marvelous Mom.
Oh, she's my favorite.
She's a favorite. Oh, absolutely, I agree.
My absolute favorite.
And Joni said, I sit and watch her twirl, spin, and fly.
Where is she? Did I put her in my... I didn't put her in my mail. I'll put her in my mail, because I think she twirls and flies in my mail. I don't know if I have her, but let's just see. I love how many farmhands I have now. I can just send all these dudes and fill up my mill and not worry about extra stuff being stuff. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? You have no idea what I'm saying.
No.
That's okay. Where did I put my mom? Oh, she's washing the cow right now. She's scrubbing that cow. Look at her go. Those are magic bubbles.
I'm still watching your mine.
You'll get it eventually. It'll come with my coffee. All right.
Mona said the bouncing pigs will explode someday.
That would be sweet. That's what I'm saying. It's like, you know what? There should be like a little timer on these bouncing animals, and when the timer goes to 0, ba-boom. Just explosion. Big mess. Speaking of which, I should pick my... You know what I don't make enough of? I never have enough stuff, is to make my soup. My farmer soup. I don't know about you guys, but I never seem to have enough farmer soup.
Oh, and Frank said just Anne and Frank, of course, are on the same wavelength.
Yes, that's true.
I like it.
Okay, should we talk about cloning now, or are you still catching up on chat?
Last one. Janine said, don't forget to talk about how to sync from computer to phone. I haven't used 2 devices yet and would like to. Okay,
so I think if you're on Facebook... If you're connected in Facebook, so if you go to your settings and you go here and you click connect with Facebook and you log into your Facebook account, that gets your information on the cloud, like gets your game saved on the cloud, which is another awesome hint, because if you've never done that, guys, and you change devices, you can't restore your old device on your game unless it's cloud saved. So very important. You can use Google Play, or you can use the I guess you can use Twitter, it looks like, too. But Facebook is probably the best thing to do. Connect with Facebook, enter your email or password, and then it'll connect you to Facebook. That'll sync your cloud game. Now, when you play on your new device, you're going to play till level 4, and then it's going to pop up. Level 4 is all tutorial stuff. Well, maybe not all to level 4. Almost all the way to level 4 is like all force stuff. You got to pick apples, sell apples, blah, 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 blah. But as soon as you get to level 4, you're able to log in. So you go to your settings and you click connect, and you use the same password and username as the one that you had on your other device. And I got an unable to connect message. And as soon as you do that, sometimes it's very fast. Within like a minute, a thing pops up and it says game saved in cloud, rebooting, restarting, and it restarts and you're in your game. Other times it can take a day. Now, usually not. Usually it's instant. In fact, I've gone from playing on my computer to my tablet to my iPhone literally in minutes. So I've closed my application down, reopened it, and a little box pops up that says which game do you want to play, a save game, and it has a timer. It says 13 minutes or 13 seconds ago, and I choose the one that I want to play, and that's the one that loads. So as long as you're connected to Facebook, don't delete your other game off your device until it works. So you just turn it off, and then you log into your new device and try it, and make sure your new game saves or your old game comes up. That's what you've done, Jennilee, right?
I have yet to connect it to my computer.
No, but you've done different devices, right? Like you had it on your old phone, and then you smashed your phone, or Katie smashed your phone.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
And then you played to level 4, and you just reconnect to Facebook, and then sometimes it's really fast. The screen just flashes, and it says there's another save game on this account, and then it loads, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So same thing with computer, because I play it on 2 different computers, one on the streaming computer and one on my work computer. Don't tell anybody. And then on my tablet and my iPhone. And I can literally like close off this tonight, and I can turn on my iPhone in 5 minutes, and I'll have my latest saves. So hopefully that answers your question. Was there other questions you were supposed to remind me of?
Probably. Look real quick.
Did you write them down?
I do have them written down. I do.
I think my storm's going away. Let's see. I'll hit my play button to see where we're at. Okay, so I'm where the red. Okay, yeah, the red is like way past me now, and the yellow. So it looks like the storm is over. So that's good. No power outage, anyways, guys.
I think the next one you said something about the $10 million bass, right?
Yeah, the $10 million bass. I thought I had a slide on that. I didn't. The slide that I did have was on the invisible animals, and I'll bring that one up right now. So I have never had this experience, but apparently last week there was several players that experienced disappearing animals, and they would zoom out and zoom in to fix the problem, or they would restart their game to fix the problem. Jennilee, did you see this on your farm?
I did not. I did not have that problem.
Uh-huh. So I got this slide from... I'm not sure where this slide came from. Did you send me this slide, Jennilee? Looks like you did.
No.
You might have.
I did not. Did I?
Yeah, because I cropped the top and bottom out because it had all the Facebook stuff on it. Yeah,
no, those are not my animals.
No, not your animals, but you sent me this picture from your crash reports.
Maybe.
From your crash reports.
Sure.
Anyways, all right. And then speaking of stuff, guys, we talked about bingo a little bit, right, Jennilee?
Yes.
Okay, so last week before bingo started, a lot of people thought they weren't going to get bingo because there was this VIP letter that went out to the VIPs. So a FarmVille VIP, and I'm not sure how you become a VIP. I've never been told. I don't know. All I know is they spend money, so that's maybe why I'm not a VIP, because I haven't spent enough money yet. But if you're a FarmVille VIP, they send you different emails and different perks. And they sent this email to every VIP that said, hey, if you log in for the next 5 days in a row and then send us an email, we'll enter you in for this extra perk on bingo. And so one of our watchers is a VIP, and they did this thing, and they received a special beehive. So it's on the screen, and it'll come up for you, Jennilee, in a few seconds. But from the people that are on the internet chat, this is what you guys got if you were a VIP and you opted in for this special VIP bonus. So not only do they have the regular beehives that make the honey like everybody else, they got this special one with this heart on it. Can you see it yet, Jennilee?
Yes, it's up.
Right. So those are the kind of things that they do for VIPs, and that there was big confusion about that, and then the bingo event, as in they didn't think that, they thought that only the VIPs got bingo, and it wasn't true. Bingo, everybody got bingo, but VIPs got a special beehive. Anyways, a lot of people don't know about the beehive. You didn't know, Jennilee, did you?
I did not, no.
Yeah. So, and a lot of VIPs don't like to share all their awesome information they get, but I'm fortunate that we do have a couple of VIPs in our live stream or in our co-op that like to share for the live stream. So there you go. The VIP beehive.
Arnita said, got free beehive.
Got free beehive. So Anita, that's awesome. It sounds to me like she must be a VIP. Congratulations.
And Rachel says, I'm definitely not a VIP.
Me neither. You know that commercial that says got milk?
Uh-huh.
Well, when Anita said got beehive, I was like, I thought you were asking a question. Like, got beehive, question mark? So anyway, sorry, I had a little brain meltdown there for a second. Yeah, me neither. I would have liked the beehive, though, because sometimes you just can't have enough honey. That's true. We should talk about cloning soon. It's like 10 minutes to 9.
Frank said, so the VIPs can mine their own beeswax.
There you go. That's true. That's a good way of looking at it. Now stop complaining, VIPs, and mind your own beeswax. Touche. Great. That was awesome, Frank. Okay, we should talk about cloning now.
Okay.
Okay. Are you sure you got all the chat caught up?
Yes, we're good.
Okay, so after the live stream last week, we had a whole pile of questions that we composed and I sent to Lad from Zynga. And Lad in turn answered those questions, not to me, answered them how he would answer them. There was 11 of them, sent them to PR, and didn't get a response back until like an hour before the live stream. So he gave me the response that he could. Now, again, we talked a little bit about the information that Lad can give me to broadcast to the internet is going to be different than the information that you as a VIP or you as a player can get from support. So for example, I've asked support twice about cloning. I've said, is cloning going to get me in trouble or what? And the reply has been both times, you can clone as much as you want, you won't get in trouble, do so at your own risk, but there's no problem if you do it. It's just not it's a non-game feature, I guess they say, right? So, but it's allowed, it's acceptable, it's not gonna give you a bad attitude. Not a bad attitude. It might give you a bad attitude, but it won't give you a bad thing with Zynga. That makes sense, right, Jennilee?
Yes,
okay.
I got you.
So now the difference is, see, and Lad may be able to say that to somebody too, right? But what he tells me is that cloning is not a game mechanic, and that's pretty much it. Like as far as what cloning is or what it is, because he can't say to me Zynga says it's okay, because then you guys will go to Zynga and said, hey, you guys said it's okay, give it back, or whatever they're planning on doing, whatever they're doing. So what he tells me is a few facts. So I'm just going to bring up what Lad said. Now we asked Lad a whole ton of questions, all the way from, is this experiment going to go on forever? When's it going to end? Who got chose? How many people are in it? How, if there are new people going to be in it? Like, we asked them a ton of stuff. And this is what we got back. Now, the slide I'm bringing up is not... Oh, there's Lad's picture. Hey, hi, Lad. The slide I'm bringing up is his message to me, word for word, exactly what he said. So and I'll read it out to everybody too. So the top line says, the rationale behind looking at cloning is twofold. So this is a question where we said, why are you looking at cloning? I can assume anyways. So those 11 questions. He said, 1, we're trying to find the right balance for the game. Cloning wasn't an intentional game mechanic. So what that means is that the cloning was kind of like the bracket cloning, or changing your text, or doing things like that one person said who could buy over and over again. It wasn't a feature that they released to the public. It's something that just happened naturally through their way they made the game. He also puts underneath that, it's also difficult, right? You need 3 people on all at the same time, communicating quickly. So what that means is you need 3 people, like Rachel, who's amazing at cloning, and you, Jennilee, who's also amazing at cloning, and me, who is maybe amazing at cloning. I don't want to be too whatever.
You're
bragging.
amazing at cloning.
Yay,
it's okay.
Yay, me. So we need to have all 3 of us on at the exact same time and all working together to do this. So it's not like I can do it by myself, easy smeezy. And so I guess and I'll keep reading the comments here. So he says, we actually want to develop stronger features for co-ops moving forward that allow players to engage in mutually beneficial behavior that is also intentional for the game. So that statement is really big. It basically says that going forward, they want to do things that the co-op has to rely on other co-op members to be on at the same time. So then he says, hence the experiment. So I didn't really quite understand that per se of his little comment. They're running the experiment to stop people from cloning. I'm not sure if that's to see if cloning will slow down in co-ops or if cloning will evolve. Because I know in our co-op, cloning hasn't slowed down. All of the people who have this problem, and sometimes there's even two at once, right, Jennilee? Mm-hmm. I don't know about you, but we were on the other night, and there was two people who couldn't clone, yet we still cloned with everybody. Everybody still got all the stuff they needed. The people that had too much stuff reposted the stuff they had, and the other people that couldn't clone just bought that stuff. So it took a little bit longer for everybody to get everything they needed, but it didn't really slow our co-op down at all. Anyways, right. So he says, players can expect in the future more things that are exciting for co-ops and for team play, and the timeline and the content is unknown at the moment. So it's not a ton of information. It's not a black and white answer. It's not where we allow cloning, we don't allow cloning. There's probably more we can read from what he doesn't say than what he does say. And so, first of all, it tells me a few things. It tells me that they're wanting to do stuff, or create features that rely on the co-op because of the success that cloning has become. Cloning, everybody's done cloning for years and years and years. They've allowed it, they haven't condoned it, and people use it in co-ops. As soon as they can join a co-op, they start cloning, or most of them do, and it's something that they use over and over again. And I know that Zynga sees this, like, this is my opinion again, guys, that they see this as, this is how the game is going, this is how the game evolved, and if we take it away, if we just chop it off, we're basically changing the game drastically. So what can we do, or how is the reaction going to be by doing things? So that's what I kind of see it saying. But it also says that they are looking at making features that are engaging to the co-op, and I think that's really good, because that's where what cloning is, right?
Right.
So what do you think, Jennilee? Is it a blow off? Is it a brush off? Is it not what we wanted?
I don't think it's what we wanted. It's not really an answer at all, whether it's gonna stick around or... And when he says it's difficult, I don't... Like you were saying, I don't think we find it difficult. It actually... We enjoy it. We're playing it together.
Right, but I think what he means by difficult is that you need 3 people at once. You can't just do it by yourself on your own tablet. You need to have 3 people. And you know, our co-op is probably an exception, Jennilee, because there's a lot of talk right now on the Facebook pages about players who are in dead co-ops. Like, a lot of talk. Right? And if you're in a dead co-op, cloning is hard.
Yeah.
So anyways, I totally agree with that. I totally understand where you're going from that. And I totally agree that it's not a black and white answer. And I totally I'm not upset by it, because first of all, there's a line of communication that we've built that at least there's some information coming through. Where it grows, what we get, I don't know. All I can tell you is what he tells me, and I'm just fortunate that he's telling me something, right? So, you know, I know that they do listen to the fact that they want new things to happen. It says that they want to have more features for the co-op to engage each other to make things beneficial. So I don't know, again, this is all just kind of a very vague statement that they gave us, so they didn't have to say yes or no to anything, right?
Right.
But if you think about it, like if they're wanting to say, like, I'm sure there's probably a guy, let's say there's me on one side and you on the other, and I said, you know what, let's get rid of this cloning altogether. And then you're saying, you know what, if we do this, we're going to make so many people mad. And then you have another guy who says, yeah, but the people you're making mad, do they give us money? Are they buying coins or keys? You know, or are they just freeloading off the game? Right? So there's so much questions because we don't know these answers. Somebody there may know the answers, but we don't know, right? Like how it would affect it if they... And I think, you know, when it comes down to the very, very nitty-gritty of what this game is about, for Zynga, there's only one thing that matters, right? It's money. Right?
Yeah, you're right.
So in my head... And being it's money, they've got to really be careful on what they want to do and what they don't want to do. So they can't, like, they, you know, obviously the backlash they're getting from not being able to clone from co-ops is there. We've seen people suggesting to write emails. People have been writing emails and tickets. You know, I've had some VIPs who have gotten other information to the contrary of the non-information that I'm getting. So again, when I ask support about cloning, you seem to get an individualized answer. So this is an answer for more of a generalized audience instead of a one-on-one with somebody audience, right? So, and it does kind of make sense because it's not really up to Lad what they do about cloning, right? So, and it's, I'm sure they're not just going to willy-nilly do something. So anyways, it's what we got. So that's what I shared. It is what it is.
Joni says, I have had a co-op for almost 4 years and I'm about to walk away from the game. Too many issues not being resolved. And she says, I do spend money.
Right. So that's unfortunate. And you should probably send a ticket in explaining all of your, everything that you just said to us. Because any member who doesn't want to spend money anymore would be of a higher priority, in my opinion, than somebody who just wants to complain they can't clone. So I would definitely send a ticket in. You know, to be honest, I've seen problems. I don't think, has there been a time where there's never been problems, Jennilee?
No.
I think it's part of the game. I don't know. Is it a feature that there's so many interesting things that happen? Do they do it on purpose? Like, somebody sent me a picture of the... I remember how we talked about... Oops, I just closed my FarmVille off. That wasn't smart. Somebody sent me a picture of pigs in trees, or I think I sent that to you one time, remember?
Yes.
So that was sent to me by another member last week as well. I didn't put it on a slide. I was going to, but I totally forgot, I guess. But anyways, so my FarmVille is loading. Hopefully it comes back. There we are. Should be back. So yeah, so, I mean, you know, as far as any information is better than no information, 100%. I kind of understand where they're going from when we ask them a blatant question like, you know, are you getting rid of cloning? Yes or no? And they can't really answer yes or no because they don't know, right? I don't know. They don't know. But at least we can kind of get some information about the dynamic of why they did what they did and maybe some more insight into that. Because that's kind of where they were thinking. They said that they were trying to find a balance, or they were trying to get a what do you call it? The way that you can help each other using your co-op to do things. So they were experimenting with that. So again, my opinion, not a good way to do it, to remove something that everybody's been able to do for years with no repercussions. But they do what they do, right?
Right.
So I think what we maybe ask. Maybe we'll get the next, when we have more communication with Lad, we'll ask questions to tell us about life at Zynga. How did he start there? What did he do? What's his job like? Those kind of questions. And then we can move on to, you know, how many suggestions do they use from the tickets that you send in? Or where's the best place that we can put suggestions in, right? How can we get suggestions to you guys better? Those kind of questions, right?
Right.
Anyways, that's all. So it wasn't a huge amount of... grandiose stuff from Zynga this week. I didn't promote it as such just because, you know, it's not a black and white answer. It's kind of still a question. We know it's an experiment. We know they're looking at trying to do things for co-ops. And what he did say, let me bring that slide up one more time, was near the end, he said, you can expect in the future more things that are exciting for co-ops and for team play. So as opposed to individual play. So we'll have to wait and see what that means, but that's cool.
Frank says, is that an answer from Prime Minister Trudeau?
So no, I wish it was. Well, even if it was, could you believe it? Anyway, no, Frank, that is the answer from Lad. That's the shareable amount of stuff that Lad gave me this week for you guys. So it's better.
Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, it's like I said, it's 100% better than the nothing we had from the previous streams, so I'm glad for that anyway.
Arnita says they're basically making people buy keys to get somewhere in the game.
They do. I don't feel I have had to ever buy a key to finish any event with our co-op. Jennilee, what do you think?
I agree. Even though I love this game, I still see it as just a game, so I haven't felt the overwhelming need to spend money.
What about when there's a special character or a you know, the Magnificent Merlin or whatever, or a hound?
No, but that kind of gets into the next comment that I have from Frank. So he says, seriously, I appreciate those who spend money on the game, and I would if they gave you better value for the money. For example, I would pay $10 for a permanent farmhand instead of playing the leaderboard events.
I would rather play the leaderboard, but that's because I'm Mr. El Cheapo. And I'd rather waste 25 hours of my life to win a $10 item than to spend $10 and get the item in 10 seconds.
That's just... I see where Frank's coming, though, too. I think if it was something that I thought was worth spending the money on, but I haven't found anything in the game where I felt compelled to spend any money.
Yeah. The thing is, though, Jennilee, if nobody spent money, we wouldn't be playing FarmVille.
Correct.
So there's a line that we have to find. And you know what would be what they should try doing, which I don't know if they've ever tried this before, is they should have content that you can only buy. Right? Like they should have regular events that you can participate in like we do now. But they could have an event that you could buy if you wanted to, or something that you could buy.
Events, that'd be pretty cool, actually.
Right? I'm sure there'd be people that would complain and whatever, but like, there's, you know, I guess, you know where I spent money on games? I was playing this one game many years ago, or maybe it wasn't even that many years ago, maybe last year. And you know how we get keys, right? You watch the video and sometimes you get a key. You used to be able to get a key twice for sure, or once for sure, but I paid, I think, $3.99 to get like 50 gems, or whatever it was back then, a day for the next 30 days. So it's kind of like keys. Like, would you spend $3.99 to get 50 keys a day for the next 30 days? Or 99 cents even?
I don't know, maybe.
So that's the thing. So we have to find out what Jennilee would spend money on FarmVille.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum. And who knows what that is? And like I said, I've spent $6.99. I think I bought one of those bonus packs that came up when I first started playing to get like free keys and stuff, right? One of these things. 50% off, $4.99. 140 keys, 4 blankets, and 4 granola bars, and 5 golden gloves. So, you know, I don't know. I'd love to know exactly, like, wouldn't it be cool to know who clicks on the, like, a $99 purchase of the coins, like how often that sells? Or not the coins, but the keys? Like the crate of keys or whatever it's called? Let's see.
Oh, the $100 package?
The pyramid, yeah, the pyramid of keys. Like, this is what Katie and Emily are going to click on for you when they're old enough to play it.
Very funny.
And you're gonna be like, I did spend money on FarmVille once. I spent $99 on a pyramid of keys. Well, it was actually Katie that did it. I just didn't know.
Celia said, I would spend $3.99 for 50 keys a day per month. Heck yeah.
Yeah. So, and like, you know, Liz buys keys from what I understand. Like her family members gives her Google Play gift cards, or has in the past, and she's used them to buy keys. So, you know, I guess everybody has their own reasons for doing it, like for spending money and such. I mean, I guess it's the enjoyment. Like, you spend money to go to the movie, you spend money to buy an ice cream, you spend money to go to Disneyland. Rachel, how much money does it cost to take your kids to Disneyland every day for a year? If Rachel's still here. Is Rachel still here?
I think so.
Anyways, I think Rachel goes to Disneyland a lot. That's all I'll say. But yeah, like, so where's the question mark, right? Like, we've been live streaming for 17 weeks now, right?
Yes.
So, you know, your time is worth money, essentially. Like, my time is too, right?
Uh-huh.
So, and what we're doing right now, how many watchers are we at?
28.
So, 28 people right now are listening to me and you talk about FarmVille, and they may or may not be spending keys on the game. So what is what we do for FarmVille, creating entertainment? Like, Frank, are you entertained by us? And Celia and all of the people, Lorraine, that watch us week to week. Like, we don't get paid to do it. We don't buy keys from Zynga. We just love playing the game, and we love chatting to each other about FarmVille, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's value. I mean, there's value in that, I think I give you guys this show, this stuff with Jennilee because it's fun and we like doing it. So what do we get out of it, Jennilee? Are we famous? Is that what we get? Fame?
No, we get to have fun talking about our nerdy obsessions.
That's true. And then make our family makes fun of us, and I agree. So, although we don't spend money, we certainly bring value to the FarmVille community. I think so, anyway.
I got a little bit of chat to catch up on.
Okay, it's 10 after 9. Are you still okay, Jennilee?
Just for a little bit longer. I'm gonna have to put the kids to bed soon.
All right, cool. Go ahead.
Bubbly's asking, why are bronze so hard to obtain? I don't know what bronze. Are you referring to bronze like from Eddie? Like the bronze tickets?
Maybe the bronze from the copper from the mine?
I don't know.
Maybe not. Maybe it's something for the event. Well, she could clarify as you continue reading. I know there's something we forgot to talk about. Chat room, if you're listening and we promised to talk about something and we haven't, now's the time to bring it up.
Loretta said, important in this case for VIPs to send their support for cloning.
Yes, so what Loretta's saying is that any VIP, in fact, not a VIP specific, every member, anybody who thinks that it deserves to stay in the game, if they want to send a ticket to Zynga to voice that, that's what she's saying to do. I wouldn't disagree with her.
Let me see. Frank said, here's a cool idea. Sell a key dispenser for, say, 99 keys, and over 30 days, you get 5 keys each day. Yeah,
exactly. Something cool that you can buy, that you can brag about having, that you'd actually spend money on. And, really, 99 cents or $2.99, that is kind of not really spending money anyways. It's kind of just like a tip, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Jennilee, have you spent money ever on any game on your phone in your life?
Yes.
Okay. So why?
Because you get impatient waiting and you advance whatever it is you're doing.
So what you're saying is that cloning may have prevented you from spending money on the game.
Possibly.
But we don't want it to go away, so Zynga, you don't listen to this and don't take away our cloning.
Right,
just give us other reasons to spend money. And you know what? I have 453 keys right now, and that is enough to buy a farmhand. And when I started collecting keys many moons ago, I said I was going to save up 400 and buy one. And then you know what happened is they released that stupid Christmas one for half price. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And I bought it, which is awesome because I wanted a permanent farmhand for 120 keys or whatever it was. I think it was Rover. Was it Rover Dover? No, it was Woody the dog. It was Woody the dog. And so now I'm thinking they're going to do that again, right? They're going to have another one go on sale for 160 keys or 200 keys.
Oh, you're going to be prepared.
Yeah, so I don't want to spend my 400 on the full-priced guy when I know I could probably buy 2 at the sale price.
Makes sense.
But I really want the hound dog, though. As soon as I buy the hound dog, it's going to be like, hey, look, this one's only 99 keys. Then I'm going to have to spend money. And I would have spent money last time, $4.99 or $2.99 to get it, just because you can never seem to have enough farmhands.
Let me catch up on some more chat, because I feel like I'm very far behind.
Okay, go.
Rachel said Disneyland costs her an arm and a leg.
Just one? An arm and a leg, okay.
Leg.
Well, good thing we have 2 each. Continue.
Celia says we're very entertaining.
Oh, thanks, Celia. We try.
Janine said, yes, you are entertaining, but I've learned more these past few weeks than in the past 4 years.
Well, that's awesome.
That is so...
So what she's saying is that we should be on the payroll for Zynga.
Right.
So Zynga, if you're listening, my last name is spelled Kyba, and Jennilee's is M something. I was...
Hey, lad, pass on the note.
There we go. The Benjamins.
Anne also says she agrees, very entertaining. Leslie said that Katie was enjoying our live stream and she passed out.
That's your daughter?
Yes.
Nice. Well, so you can chat for a few more minutes now.
That's what it sounds like.
All right.
Jean said...
Did you want me to order you a coffee or anything? I could...
Oh, thanks for offering, but I think I'm good.
All right. You're off the hook, Ursula and Leslie.
Jean says, thank you for the info update and your time, Scott and Jennilee. Have to go back to real life challenges. Good night and bye till next week.
You got it. Thanks for joining. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Frank says, I'm absolutely entertained by you both. Not only do you provide some great information, but you make everyone feel so welcomed. Aw, thanks, Frank.
Is this like a cry episode? You guys are trying to make us cry.
No, it's so sweet.
It is sweet. It's so awesome. I'm gonna get my 3 times prize. Continue.
Joni said also most or some co-op leaders dedicate a lot of time to running a co-op.
That's true, they do. And I know that sometimes I'll spend a long time trying to figure out slides and posts on the co-op. And not just for the co-op, but there's people on Facebook that have big groups that really spend a lot of time coming up with unique ideas. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Thanks guys.
It's so much like a family, too. You just want to take care of everybody.
Isn't that weird? Have you had that with any other game?
No.
Me neither. Chat room, I'm not sure, but if you want to comment on that, that'd be cool.
Well, Frank also says, and hats off to chat, too.
Yes, because chatters, you guys are wickedly awesome with all of your opinions and your chatting.
I love it.
Should we ask them more stuff, Jennilee? Sometimes I feel like I'm rambling. Sometimes I feel I ramble and I ramble and I ramble and I never give you a word in and I never give the chatters a word in.
No, I think you do fine. And then when you do ask questions, like right now when we have a bunch of listeners, they write so many answers and then I get a little overwhelmed trying to make sure I read all the answers.
Okay, because I mean, I don't want to be like a hog, but I do love the spotlight.
No, I think it's mostly good balance.
Good.
Jean said, waiting for the info, Scott, before I go. What? I don't know what info she was waiting for.
Oh dear, was it the cloning info? Was it from the beginning?
No. This was had to be maybe a minute ago because I'm getting to the bottom of chat.
Maybe she meant the info of the massive release thing that we're going to announce next week.
I don't know.
Okay, so Jean, we've already talked about cloning, which wasn't a huge amount of information. It was interesting information we got from Zynga and from Lad. Next week we're going to have some big news from Lad and Zynga that we're going to share with everybody. That's really exciting. So that's a stay tuned for next week. And I think that's all of the major stuff, unless we're forgetting something.
I don't think so.
Okay, well, hopefully, chatters, if you can remember what we were supposed to talk about that we totally forgot to talk about, that'd be great.
Janine and Frank said they're also waiting on farmhands to get discounted, so they're hoarding their keys as well.
For sure, that's what you guys have to do is hoard your keys.
Absolutely. And then Anne says she uses her keys to expand her workstations and her farm. So
I always use the timber. Oh, you mean, yeah, for those. Absolutely. So building like 3 items instead of 1, for sure. And I've done that on occasion as well. Because sometimes you want to make multiple things and go to sleep and have them ready in the morning. Like, it'd be nice to do this to both of my Glassworks things to get 3 for the 10 keys. But I'm such a stingy person. Although I'm going to probably do it. When I get to 500 keys, I'm going to waste a few, I think. It's going to take a while, though.
Joni said, I want the St. Bernard so bad.
Yeah. He's such a cute St. Bernard.
I agree.
For 900 keys, though. Holy man. That's a lot of waiting.
Yes.
There are a lot of events.
Janine said, Zynga put them on the payroll.
Yay! Put us on the payroll. Hey, I need to get that slide of you holding the sign.
Oh, yeah.
For next week. Payroll.
Loretta said the hound dog that gets 2 trout is awesome.
Oh, 2 trout would be awesome. And that's the hound dog? Which one is that? That's 400? Go check again. It is 400. So does anybody know what the Siamese cat and the tabby cat do? Anyways, that's maybe for another episode. Continue, Jennilee.
Janine said, cloning keeps us from getting frustrated. Frustrated players quit. Players who quit don't spend money on the game. That's why we need to keep cloning around. And
I 100% agree with what you just said. I think that's the key. Now, there is a trade-off. Like, what would happen if, like, you know how you need to make an incredible amount of stuff to finish the events, Jennilee? Like, you need to stockpile, like, tons of stuff or clone a massive amount, right?
Mm-hmm.
What would happen if they said, you only need to make, like, a 10th or, like, a 20th of that? So instead of cloning, instead of making like 74 glass horses, you have to make 5. Right? To do the same thing.
Right.
So wouldn't that be, like, maybe you're not going to be playing as much because you need to make all these things with your co-op, but the event could be accomplished without cloning with a reasonable amount of gameplay. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because right now, an event takes several hours to do, right? Like if me and you sit down with Rachel, hey Rachel, and we like do an event, like if we just go through and we just go as hard as we can on every stage, cloning everything we do, we'll probably be playing for like 5 or 6 hours, right? Mm-hmm. And we'll be done the event, right? So if they didn't have cloning, but we still had to play 5 or 6 hours together, and we still got rewarded the same way, would that be okay? You understand what I'm asking?
No.
Okay. It's past our bedtimes. So what I'm saying is that right now, to finish an event, we have to clone, right? This Jennilee and me and Rachel, we don't have the time to spend on the farm 24/7, right? So we have to clone, okay? So if Zynga were to say to us, me and you and Jennilee, or sorry, me, hey, that rhymed. That kind of like is a poem. But anyways, Rachel, you and Jennilee, if they said to us, you guys play 5 hours together every event, or you spread it out over however long, but you play together every event, and we give you a temporary farmhand for 30 days, right? Mm-hmm. And we do that because we clone, right?
Right.
So if they said to us, hey, we'll still give you the farmhand, you'll still play together, you just won't clone, would we still do it?
But could we still knock it out in the same amount of time?
Yes. Like the same amount of time, the same reward, and the same fun.
Yes.
Right. So what they need to do is find a way that is a game feature that keeps us together, that gives us the same reward.
I see what you're saying. Is that why are you trying to lean towards what the boat races is supposedly doing?
Well, the boat races is reverse of that, because you don't need your co-op to do your own thing. You need to do it as a co-op together to score, but you don't need it to make the thing for the co-op. So it's not the boat races replacing cloning. It's the hardness of the event going away, right? So
right.
If they get rid of cloning, they also have to get rid of the hardness of the event.
Gotcha. That's
what I'm saying. And then you could buy some keys to finish the event in a more faster time. So say me and you and I like to say Jennilee. So Rachel and me and Jennilee, we only have 3 hours this week to do the event, so we have to all spend 20 keys each to do it quicker. Right?
Uh-huh.
Anyways, it's just there's other ways to do it. So I agree with, was it Janine or Jenny? Who said that original comment you just read?
Which comment?
You were talking about cloning and having to clone, and if they got rid of cloning, they wouldn't play and they wouldn't spend money.
Janine.
Yeah. So that's true. If they were to get rid of cloning and not give us something else and not fix it, they would lose a lot of people from the interest of the game, and I'm sure they would have people spending less money. But if they can find a way to bring the co-ops together in a similar way as cloning and have it as actual feature and technically remove that exploit, then I think that would still be okay. Maybe. We'd have to wait and see. That's why hopefully we'll be around live streaming when that happens.
And Frank's agreeing with you. He said, I agree, Scott. If you eliminate cloning, lower the amounts needed to complete events and such.
Right. But the problem with that, too, is that there'll still be people that finish it way faster because of the stockpiles they have or because of the friends they have. So you still need to build in the interaction with your co-op. Anyways, because how much interaction would we have, really? Like, if cloning didn't exist, would we exist? Like, can we attribute cloning to our existence, Jennilee?
No, because it forced us to get along and to interact with each other, and
yeah, like totally. So Zynga, there's like a newsflash, a newsflash happens right here. It's like, I think a lot of us have been brought together from a feature that you're not calling a feature. Anyways, interesting.
I agree. I think I do need to wrap it up though, because someone is looking for me.
Okay, so it is 9:24 Mountain Time, and we are going to be turning off the live stream in exactly 5 minutes. so that we can say goodbye. So everybody on the live stream, thank you so much for joining. I'm sure we forgot to say stuff, Jennilee. I'm sure there was a thing where I was like, remind me to talk about this later. But anyways, we'll catch it next week or whatever. Again, if you have suggestions for me to send in or questions, formulate them with keep in mind that they can't answer a lot of questions that are private or in the, I'm not sure what the name of it is. I'm not that smart tonight to figure out the name, the word I'm trying to find. But anyways, keep that in mind. So ask them stuff like, does Zynga get free breakfast and lunch? Because I heard they did. That'd be cool. Anyways. Stuff like that. Stuff that isn't going to be a private, secretive gameplay stuff that could potentially be bad to get released from us. Anyways, I'm not sure what that leaves us with, but we'll find out in the future.
Jean said that she was still hanging around because you said you had something to share before the end of the show.
Yeah, but did I share it? I think I shared it.
I don't remember.
Right at the very beginning, we talked about having that epic thing that we're going to share next week.
Yes.
And that we were going to talk a little bit more about it, and we kind of talked a little bit about it in bits and pieces, but I really can't, I don't want to give away anything until next week, because it's going to be awesome. So, I apologize if I confused you with what I didn't say. Join us next week again, because next week, 100%, there's going to be some information that's going to be very exciting. Anyways, yes. Good. So, let's read some goodbyes from our fabulous folks on the chat.
Okay, we have goodbye from Celia.
Celia, it was so nice for you to join us tonight. I hope you had a wonderful supper this evening. Probably had beans and rice. Let me know if I'm right later in Messenger. Anyways, next.
Sarah and Bubbly.
Sarah and Bubbly. It was nice to have you guys. Bubbly, your name is fantastic. All I think of when I see a name of Bubbly is a happy, bubbly, joyous person. So thank you for joining us. Sarah, you too. Appreciate you being here. Hopefully you guys can come about next week and hang out with us at chat as well.
I agree. And Anne, Joni, and Angela have said goodnight.
Anne, Joni, and Angela. I used to know a Joni from Happy Days. She used to hang out with a guy named Chachi. Not even sure if you guys know what that means, but that's what I'm going to say.
Good job.
Thank you.
Frank says goodnight all. Another great stream.
And Frank, it was so awesome for you to be here tonight again. Frank, you come every week. You are like our diehard fan. I look forward to seeing your I'm going to the live stream. When I post the live stream, Frank, I physically watch until your name shows up, and I'm like, okay, now we can stream because Frank said he's coming.
Exactly. Frank said, "Hey."
All right.
Janine said goodnight. We'll be back in 2 weeks.
Good night, Janine, and have a safe trip next week. And we will certainly check out our YouTube channel and our live stream next week afterward for the recording. And there'll be some awesome information. But thanks for coming tonight.
Yes, thank you. And then Chantel and Jean have also said goodnight.
Chantel and Jean, thank you so much for coming. Chantel number 9. Is that a perfume? Chantel number 9? Oh, that's Chanel number 9.
Chanel, yeah.
Sorry, Chanel. Almost. Chantel, you almost had a perfume named after you, but you didn't. Thanks for joining us, guys. Is that it? That's everybody? How many watchers are we down to?
18.
They're dropping like flies. Any other goodbyes?
That's all of them.
All right. Did you have anything you'd like to say good this evening, Jennilee?
Yeah. I'm so glad everybody got to join us today, and it was a lot of fun, lots of information, and I'm very excited for next week.
And I am excited too, and with that, I will say my usual good night, God bless, and take care, everyone. Bye!
Bye!